Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Sunday morning, bright and early. I didn't want to get up this morning. Real sore from the gym yesterday. My whole body kind of aches. I went a little bit heavier than I normally do. Every once in a while, you gotta just see how strong you are. I want to go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quotes if we have time. These are ideas that I pulled from my morning studies. I haven't done a study group in a week or two, so let's get on to it. This is a Sunday study group for warriors. You're going to find a theme in these. There's usually a theme in the quotes that I pull. Take responsibility for your situation. That's number one. Take responsibility for your situation. I've personally found that taking responsibility for my life and for the things that have happened to me, I got to put that in air quotes, happened to me, because we like to look at ourselves as victims, but many times we're not. We're our own saboteurs. I've had to sit down and think about all of the shit that was fucking me up, all the betrayals, all the bad times, the missteps, the suffering that I've been through. And I came to a conclusion that I could either be angry about it, shaking my fist at the world like a fallen angel syndrome, right? And I'm angry at God, angry at the universe for doing this to me, for creating this monster, turning me into a monster, giving me a fucked up life. Or, because that's one option, and that's an option of torture. That'll end you up like Gollum. Or, I could work towards moving past it, and that only the doorway towards moving past the pain of your past is personal responsibility. That doorway is personal responsibility. That sets you free. That puts you into a new realm. That's the entrance to a new level. Personal responsibility. I sat down and I took responsibility for everything, man. Even the things that felt like that they were mistakes, that they happened to me. I took responsibility for everything. Took responsibility for my father getting murdered. I wasn't there. I didn't do it. I took responsibility for the way that I handled it. I took responsibility for being dumped by my fiance on our wedding night. I took responsibility for going homeless. I took responsibility for everything, for my depression, for my fear. It didn't add weight. With each event that I took responsibility for, relationship that I took responsibility for, action that I took responsibility for, with each one, it didn't add a weight. It wasn't adding more fuel to the fire or more shit on the pile. It was the opposite. I didn't expect that to happen. It freed me. Taking personal responsibility for your life frees you. It's the first step to freedom. And suckers don't realize this because they want to clutch to that victimhood. I didn't do it. You'll never get out of here with that attitude. Let's go to the next one. Don't pray for a divine miracle for something that can be solved by human effort. That's a good one. I'll read that one again. Don't pray for a divine miracle for something that can be solved by human effort. So many of us, myself included, will find ourselves in our moment of need to pray for a miracle from God. Pray for the universe, for somebody. Please just help me. Help me make this money. Help me get out of this medical problem that I'm in. Help me win back the love of my wife. Help me be a better person. Help me with, there's all these things that we pray for nightly. Every day, every morning, every night, all day. We pray for certain things, for divine miracles. oftentimes that shit doesn't happen. And you wonder why. And a lot of people have this fall from grace, this kind of shake their fist at God. I prayed to you and you never answered none of my shit, so you must be fucking fraud. Fuck it. But don't pray for a divine miracle, for something that can be solved by human effort. Are you really putting in the work? I mean, really. So many people don't do shit. I just talked with a friend the other day. I'm not really coaching her. I've known her for 20 years, but she's been inspired by my journey and trying to eat better. She tells me that she's been eating more healthy, and we talk about that. And then a couple weeks go by, and she tells me she's really not feeling this diet thing. She's not losing any weight, but she's not really working out properly, and she's not really eating very healthy. 1 day a week of vegetables and fish and a good meal, taking a picture of it and putting it on Instagram, it isn't enough, because you follow it up with bacon cheeseburgers and Dunkin' Donuts and stuff. You know, I mean, so don't sit there and pray for a thinner body. Please, Lord, I'm trying, but I just want you to step in and do this magic for me, like Gandalf. Like you're in a fucking Harry Potter movie. And you don't have to really put in work. You're not going to struggle to get to the top of that hill. Somebody's just going to pick you up and say, there you go. Don't learn anything that way. You don't really enjoy anything that way. There's no lesson that way. There's no meaning that way. There's no purpose that way. So you have to get busy. You have to struggle as hard as you can. When you are, for example, with my friend, if she was eating every single meal perfect, working out as hard as she could, living the mind, body, and soul lifestyle like it's supposed to be done, not half-assing it, not cherry-picking with little things, doing it once a week, every 2 weeks, she'd get into it, and then, if she were to really do it, she would see those results. She wouldn't need to pray. She would thank God instead of begging God. Let's go to the next one. This is kind of in connection to where we just were, so you'll see a theme. Last-minute desperation rarely works. You'll find this with business. You'll find this with relationships. You'll find this with your health. I mean, like we talked in the last one, about praying for a divine miracle. Last-minute desperation usually comes from somebody who hasn't put in work. They've been sitting on the sofa. They've been lazy. They haven't been thinking about shit. And then last minute it comes up and they're like, oh, fuck. And they get all desperate. They freak the fuck out. Have you ever seen anybody do this over a bill? I used to live with this chick, and every time bills would come up, she would do this. And it'd be like, we have all month to come up with this money. You know that as soon as you pay for this month's bill, you know that more bills are coming in 30 days, probably less, probably 15 days. Sometimes it feels like I get bills every day. You know they're coming. What's this last minute desperation you continually go through? You can never catch up. You have to be able to work beforehand so you can reap the benefits later. That's how it works. You go from point A to point B. In order to get there, you have to really, really struggle. It may be all uphill. And as soon as you get to point B, it doesn't mean you get to rest for a year. You got to go to C and D. You got the whole alphabet. And it's just going to get steeper and steeper of a climb as you go. That's life. Welcome to it. This last minute desperation people go through, they sit there and then they get desperate as fuck. And then they want to go and ask everybody else in the world to help them. They pray to God. They ask you for money. And it's just like, Jesus Christ, I just lent you money. I mean, let's go to the next one, because I don't want to get too redundant on some of these. Things only happen for those who work towards it. See, we've been talking about this. You'll see the theme. Life only happens for people that engage in it, right? You got to play to win. Let's go to the next one. This is the last one. God doesn't serve your agenda. That's hard for people to understand. God doesn't work for you. He's not your boy. Your ace. Yo, come here. Let me get you to do something for me real quick. I mean, I used to have cats like that, but that doesn't make me able to do that with God. God isn't working for me. He's not an underling. If anything, it's the opposite. You go run into that motherfucker being like, yes, boss. What can I do for you today, boss? I mean, he doesn't serve you, you serve him. It's just the nature of the relationship. It's the hierarchy of of God. It's God's at the top. Man is second. Woman is under God. The kids are under the woman. You have to play your role. You can't just assume that you're God. So many people want to play God, and then they wonder why none of their prayers work for them. They wonder why nothing's really happening for them on a spiritual level. Because you're too busy playing dictator, trying to rule the world. Like Mickey Mouse, when he steals the wizard's hat, and everything kind of goes crazy, and he thinks he's the man. Real quickly, he realizes that this shit is way too complex for me to even understand. I'm fucking everything up. Stop fucking your life up. This is what faith is. You just kind of release, and you say, you know what, I'm going to do my part. Things only happen for those who work towards it, like the last one. I'm going to put in my work. And when you put in your work, shit starts happening for you. God starts serving you. He realizes, wow, that motherfucker's doing it. I should help that motherfucker. He could use a little help. Only people that are really pushing hard deserve help. A lot of people have it backwards. They think that those who aren't doing anything deserve help. And when you see somebody sitting on the side of the road, homeless, you really have to ask yourself, do they deserve help? Are they doing anything? A lot of people on welfare are like this. And generational welfare. Temporary welfare is one thing. Generational welfare, in my opinion, is a sin. And a lot of people kind of look at faith as like a generational welfare. They kind of look at it as welfare. They deserve it. I'm fucked up, so help me. God damn it. Help me, motherfucker. Oh, you ain't gonna do it? Well, fuck you then. Right? I mean, this is the game people play with their spirituality. And then they sit and wonder why they remain tortured, why they remain suffering. You're just going around in circles. Faith is about moving forward. When you're walking along a path, you don't really know what's around the corner or what's at the end of the path, but you still walk it. You have faith that that path is going to lead somewhere. And you enjoy it along the way. Go hiking. People love hiking. It's just like life. It's a Sunday study group. Hope you got some kind of value out of this shit. Thanks for watching.